All right, let's get rolling. Let's start with introductions and roll call. Tom, would you start for us? Would you start down there? We'll work our way around.
Tom Bird at large.
Rusty Slab with Holland Charter Township.
Stephen Ringelberg, Laketown Township. Welcome, everyone.
Luke Walters, MDOT Statewide Planning.
Blake Wright, excuse me, MDOT Grand Region Planning.
Frank Garcia, Ottawa County Road Commission. Larry Brown, Allegan County Road Commission. Jim Sturry at large.
Jason Latham at the Macc.
Nathan Bach, City of Holland.
Mandy Cooper, Lakeshore Advantage, member at large.
Mike Sabatino, Port Sheldon Township.
John Yocker, Fillmore Township.
Tom Hunt, Zealand Township.
Steve Spoolhoff, Park Township. Kevin Kleinstra, City of Zealand.
Alan Nice, Olive Township.
Shannon Britz, the MAC, and we have a quorum.
Eric Dykstra at the Mac.
Alec Miller at the Mac.
Great, wonderful. Let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes of our last meeting.
So moved. Support.
Yep. Did you catch that? Because I certainly did not. Yeah.
Do our homework.
All right, you guys are good. And then one addition to our agenda is we've got another item of.
We got to vote on it.
Oh, we got to vote. Thank you very much. We got motion support. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then one addition to the agenda is a new item, amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments to the agenda? Great. I don't think we need to vote on that.
No, we don't.
All right. And then item number 5, public comment. Is there anyone here who would like to address the MAC? Seeing none, I will close the public comment period. Jason, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, well, thank you very much. We are definitely going to stay within our hour allotted time for this meeting. First up, Alec, on the tip amendments.
All right. So I normally have my little cheat sheet, but I forgot that. So I'm going straight off the head. I do remember I said something like, we're all going to be rooting for the Packers on Thanksgiving, right? For that? Okay, just want to make it known where I stand on this. So, okay, so here are all our amendments. We have 7 of them. The first one, 214189, this is a MDOT one. This is a multi-MPO project. So if you look back on this and you're concerned, the top one, why does the county say Muskegon? Because this is for the entire Grand Region. They're doing signal modernization for it. And MDOT kind of lumps all of these really small jobs together to make it one big job, and then they can save some money on it. So this is happening everywhere within the Grand Region, multiple spots, which is 13 counties for how big the Grand Region is. So all these spots are happening. And when they do that, they need to do some right-of-way acquisition, and the costs have increased for that, so the budget needs to be increased for that. Then the next couple ones that I'll say being moved to fiscal year 25-26, that is Max Transit. They're just moving funds from one year to another. Nothing crazy happening there. Then 214775, this is a budget increase. This is, I had my limits. Which one is this? This is 136th Avenue, 50th Street to M40. So that was going to be just a resurfacing. But then Craig Atwood from Allegan County reached out to me and wanted to change it, added a bunch of money to the local funding part, and it is now going to be a reconstruct, correct?
Correct.
All right. Then the bottom one is a new safety project, and again, that is in Allegan County, and that is 58th Street at 136th Avenue. There, that's a new safety project, and that is going to be a roundabout for that. Those are all the tip amendments. Does anybody have any comments, questions about any of that? Okay, if not, I'd like to ask for a motion.
So moved. Second.
All right, so we got a motion and support. Any additional comments? All right, all in favor, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you.
That's all I had for that, but I'll be back, don't worry.
All righty, the next agenda item is the new transportation funding package. I'm glad Larry is here and Frank. I don't know if you guys have any additional, oh, comments by MDOT. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Yeah. Any comments that MDOT has to jump into?
After you. Only thing I wanted to mention is the federal aid buyout program is coming back for fiscal year 27. So if you're part of the email listserv that gets sent out, you should have that information already. If not, reach out. I can provide that information to you. But that is, I believe the call for that is in early December. But like I said, if you need further information on that, just reach out to me.
And that's not something we typically do or have done here, but I can remember recently, right?
So the program didn't happen last year, and I can't remember if it happened the year before due to issues with state match availability.
It did not.
But I think one or two of the agencies here have utilized it in the past. So
No, it's good. It's an option, obviously.
Right, no, it works out great for us to use it at
Yep.
every opportunity.
Yeah. And then if that's the case, then just let us know, because we do have to do some bookkeeping to make sure that,
yeah, so essentially, if you apply for that and get awarded as part of that funding, I mean, awarded isn't really the right word for that, but approved for that exchange, really, then we would go in and basically remove that federal funded project off of the TIP listing, and because it's going to be funded through with local funds or state funds. So.
all right, well, thanks for that update.
Oh yeah, I got two quick ones. Our 5-year transportation program just got approved by the STC, State Transportation Commission. So if you want to check that out, go to our website and type in MDOT 5-year program. So if you want to see a list of our projects in the next 5 years, go ahead and do that. And then still working through our I-196 EL bank stabilization job. That what was it? We're doing some additional hydraulic work right now, so just want to keep the group informed about that.
Okay,
That's it.
great, thank you. Any questions for MDOT? All right, well then I'm going to jump into to the transportation funding package that was in this package that was sent to everybody. What I did was I spoke with Bill Hamilton. He's with the House Fiscal Agency, and he prepares updates for the House. And obviously, with this new funding package, there was a lot of moving parts with it. So he had a broad update. It was 20 pages long, and what I included in the packet was really just 2 pages. It was one little chart and then a couple of the notes that went along with that chart. I don't know it well enough to really go through the ins and the outs, but Bill Hamilton said he would come to our next meeting and give us an update if we would like for him to. But he also said he is working on a specific transportation update that he hoped would be done by Friday. It wasn't done by Friday, at least he didn't send it to me, and I sent him an update this morning, just asking for any information, but he hasn't gotten back to me. But once I do get that, I'll send it out. But my guess is, Larry, Frank, you guys might be in that inner circles of some of that discussion and that white paper and what that would look like. I'm sure they can't get it down to 1 page, but there's going to be definitely some details about the new funding source and what that neighborhood program looks like, and then certainly the marijuana money, where that's going. And if you guys have any updates, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if you have any updates, that's great. Otherwise, I can get Bill here at our next meeting to give us an update.
My understanding is that the cannabis issue's in court today, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if it was today, but yeah, it's coming up. But I still don't look for that to be
have a final decision for a while, you know, the way we're budgeting is like your chairman said at the last meeting, you know, we're kind of not budgeting for that portion of that money at this point.
Okay. Yeah. But the additional funds, with the sales tax and other things, that's, should be included in the MTF and be distributed to the locals, and you guys will see, from what I could tell, is about a 1/3 increase in transportation funding for local agencies, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, no, that's correct. It's about a third.
Yeah, that's great. So there's more to come on that. If you guys are interested, I'll try to get a nice briefing, and then certainly if I can get Bill here next meeting, just to keep you guys in the know. But that's huge on the local side. I know MDOT with the bond money, that was great for the state system, but the local system didn't really see an increase, more of an increase in prices because of the additional funding for bonded projects. But this is good revenue for local roads.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to jump into the administrative update. On the financial side, we're obviously, this is the beginning of our budget year. Things are looking good. Nothing too crazy. You will see that our Safe Streets for All, we only have about $1,500 left of that $300,000. So we'll wrap that up in the next month or so. And then that has to get closed out by next May. So I'll be working with the feds on that closeout procedure. It's nice that Grand Rapids, that MPO, also received a $300,000 grant. And they're about 12 months ahead of us, so they're going through that right now. They're I don't know. They're saying it's not too bad, but it is a little difficult working with the feds, especially during a government shutdown, to close that out. But other than that, you'll notice that our government funding sources are pretty much the same as they always are every year. It's a consolidated planning grant, or CMAQ, then the asset management and the data collection. Those funds are year over year pretty routine. The clean air, asset management, data collection didn't change. Consolidated planning grant, we're up slightly. I think it was about 3% increase, and I reported that back in June with you guys. So things are looking good there. The executive committee report, that was attached as well. I guess first off, I gave an update on the CPA firms. I have reached out to several. I got some calls, people that will be getting back with me next week. And this is just to make sure that we have some backup for when Chris leaves or goes on vacation. It'd be nice to make sure that we have a backup plan in place, as opposed to just relying on one person to be able to do our financials. So researching that as we speak. The audit has begun today. We had 6 auditors in the office, and they were jovial, which we commented that's not normal. They were having fun. They were all set up. They're in the conference room. They'll be there for 3 days, and they go through all of our files and everything that we have. So there'll be more to come on that. Chris will be in tomorrow and Wednesday to go over a few things with them, but they're testing and going through our files.
The test is if they're jovial on Wednesday.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how they do it, but they seemed pretty happy. Alec is like, and they were young. So, yeah, that was nice.
They got some on you already.
Yeah, yeah, they got them right where we want them. So the next thing is I updated on the value reports. I've done one report out, and it was just a couple weeks ago here at Lake Town.
It's worth having in common.
Yeah, so I'll be giving an individual update to each member just on where their dues were spent and what things that we've achieved. And you'll hear that from Alec and I, just kind of a recap of last year in just a few minutes.
I encourage you not to schedule it when you're gonna have a 3.5-hour board meeting.
You got us in early, which was nice, and we kept it to 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, we were still there about 9:45.
It was a good meeting, I'm sure of that. And then, let's see, we did discuss some of the other items in our Safe Streets for All safety action plan. We have several projects that are in that safety action plan, and there's such good data in there. So the exec committee and I were just talking about making sure that as we push for additional funding and look for, there's going to be at least one more year of funding for projects that are within the action plan, that as we talk about the safety benefits of those projects, there's also economic development and some other aspects of that that are projects that support the community. And Mandy had a good point of making sure that when we talk about economic development aspects of projects, that we kind of are defining it the same way. So we're not maybe misleading the public or talking about a project that has these great benefits, but my benefit might be defined slightly different than your benefit. So more to come on that, but that safety action plan, there's so much data in those projects and that document, and I feel like we should be using that for the next several years, 5 years to 10 years, in terms of looking at where our high injury network, high injury intersection, and what projects are we putting together to reduce those serious injuries and fatalities. So more to come on that. And then lastly is updated everyone on our Macc Bank, updating our government platform, which we will be doing in just a moment. It's the investment policy revision, and I'll just jump to that right now because that's the last item. If you will see in the packet that we sent, it's our investment policy that we approved back in 2023. The update I'd like to make today is to include Wintrust, which is a part of Macatawa Bank, and the opportunity of actually using the Mac Safe public funds money market. It's very similar to the My Class that we're already in, and that's the reason why we did this update 2 years ago, is so we could invest into My Class. But Wintrust, which is Mac Bank, they actually have a very similar platform. And what I'd like to do is put half the money into to the Mac Bank and then leave half of it in My Class, and then track them for a year just to make sure that they're equivalent. Ultimately, we could probably go 100% to Mac Bank if we need to, but right now, talking with the exec committee, they were 100% on board with this investment strategy and allowing me to manage those funds in terms of investing it in those two entities. And I have signers. You guys have there's a handful of us that have jumped on and signed everything, so we're ready to go. And the one thing I really do like about the Wintrust Bank is it's right. I'm on there every month. Chris is on there probably every week, but I can track all the funds in one spot. Where My Class, I have to bounce back and forth, and it's hard to go back and forth between them. But at this point, it'd be nice to really combine into one platform. So I'm looking for a motion to make the two Wintrust and MaxSafe public funds added to our policy, and to approve the executive director to manage those funds.
So moved.
All right, we got a
Support.
motion, and we got support. Mike, any comments additional to that? Questions? All right, all in favor, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
And then opposed, same sign. All right, motion carries. Thank you. And then lastly, this is should be pretty quick. Alec and I are going to kind of give you a recap of our 2025 outreach.
Yeah, so this is what I said we were going to do last month, but then the presentation ran a little bit long, and I didn't want to keep you all there forever. So this is something that Jason and I presented last year, just kind of to show you guys what we're doing at the MAC and how we're getting our name out there and who we're talking to. So one of the first things I want to talk about is our billboard impressions for our Green Commute Week. We had multiple locations on there, and you can see those impression numbers are pretty crazy. Here's an example of one of them that was by Boar's Head, but yeah, we work with a good company for this, and Eric and Sean created the design for it, and I think it was only supposed to run for, it was supposed to stop in mid-September, but it was up there for like 2 months longer than it was supposed to be, so not gonna. Impression is basically just how many times they think that somebody can see it, like a set of eyes.
How do they measure that?
They usually use like daily traffic and things like that. It's not scientific, but
So they use daily traffic, and then they average how many people are in cars for each carload of people. So that is their standard.
They use billboards and how they sell billboard space.
It's almost as bad as the internet. Click ads, right? It's just,
Yeah. When I drive by, I don't look at it, just to mess up their numbers.
Steve, we actually, actually, Steve, we just heard this at the CVB. They actually explained it pretty in detail. They actually look at how many cars can actually see that billboard, and they look at the view shed for that particular billboard, and how many people go by in a particular direction, and how many people can see that billboard based on time of day, whether it's lighted or not. I mean, it's actually a fairly scientific method that they use for it, and they have a company that tracks those things for particular billboards in a particular place based on the amount of traffic that goes by and the number of cars and the average number of people in cars. I was surprised at how accurate they can get with those numbers.
I don't remember a single billboard I've driven past.
Yeah, I actually saw the one, I saw the Green Commute billboard, and I remember the fact that it was up there for a couple of months after Green Commute.
Yeah.
I do. Were any of these electronic?
No, none of them, Eric. None of them were electronic.
One was on US 31.
Okay,
Yeah.
because they also have the
Digital.
ability to track your cell phone, and they will repeat impressions based on the fact that your cell phone went by a particular billboard. They're able to do that now as well, because they know where your cell phone has been
Know where you are.
and where you are. Yeah, just a little bit creepy. Yeah.
So overall, 4 million impressions. I mean, that's pretty good for the amount of money that we spent on it to get 4 million. We like that. Another thing that doesn't really get talked about a lot with policy is the Macc is a part of the West Michigan Clean Air Coalition. So something that the main message of it is if there's ever like a clean air action days where people tell you not to pump your gas or don't use your mow the lawn or leaf blow or things like that. So that's a partnership that we're in with the Grand Rapids MPO and the Muskegon MPO. So we go together and we spend some of our CMAQ funding towards a campaign and Town Square, again here, like Wood TV 8, 150,000, and WZZM 2.5 million in the Tri-MPO area. So it's a really big area. It's not focused just in Holland, it's the entire metro area. So we got some good numbers with that. And then going back to our Green Commute Week stuff, which is all stuff you've been told before, but our entries, miles, and then 20 winners, all that stuff. So we're getting our name out there for stuff. Continuing this on to Facebook, 112 followers. Jim has been absolutely fantastic for posting the quick clips on there. That's such a great idea because no one wants to watch an hour-long meeting, but there are certain things that we talk about that I think are relatively interesting to the public that doesn't really know what's going on. So Jim has volunteered to take clips of those and put it on there, which has been good. Like I said, we're tagged and a bunch of stuff, getting our name out there. Green Commute account is doing good, 550 followers. And then Sean really went crazy with it this year. We had 84,000 profile views this summer. So we thought that was really good. Moving on to our newsletter, we are consistently consistent, is how I'll say it. We have a pretty good open rate. You can see that some of the numbers drop a little bit, but it's good. I like reading it. We get a lot of feedback from the public that people like it too. Eric's running out of people.
Well, we're higher than the government average, so just so you know, the 40 to 50%, that is higher than the government standard average, so. we'll take that as a win.
Yeah.
Are you guys above 500 of those hits, or?
Especially when the article's about me, I just keep reading it again and again and again and again. So that one's really high. Yeah, that's all me. Like, all my family members send it back to the UP. They all look at it, you know. Our website, it's kind of hard to see on here, but we have a 34% year-over-year increase on our visits. Our bounce rate is down 7%, which is good. A bounce rate is just when somebody clicks on the website and immediately leaves, so it's like they accidentally clicked it, so that's good. Our unique visitors are up 43%, and our page views are up 33%. This shows what everybody is looking at. Most people are on the home page, which we have our calendar and our meeting dates and stuff like that. Green Commute Week was a big one. The watershed is another big one, and then surprisingly our team is the fourth. So again, that's probably just me looking at my own picture on the website. But yeah, so we're getting some pretty consistent views with all of this. So this is all I have for my part. Does anybody have any questions about more of our digital side of things?
Have you looked at where the visitors are coming from?
So I haven't been able to find it more than just country based, where it just shows United States. And then there was one in like South Africa. Someone looked at our website. But yeah, I haven't been able. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That,
You were at that same meeting.
No, I wanted.
Okay.
I was in Maryland last
Okay.
week, so I was off for a few days, so I missed it. But I know that they do an amazing job, and that's where I'd want to be one of these days.
Yeah, you
Figuring
want
out-
to take a look at where the visitors are coming from, because they're starting to find that a lot of AI bots are crawling and scraping websites.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the two places you want to look for are ones where you can't tell where it came from, and the other is Ashburn, Virginia, where there's a huge AI data center that they've seen a huge uptick. And everybody's like, why is everybody coming from Ashburn, Virginia? It's because that's where there's a huge data center.
I'll have to do a deep dive on Squarespace to see if I can find that.
Yeah, Squarespace will tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just haven't.
Yeah, so we thought it was really important, if you remember 2 years ago, where we were trying to get a baseline, because we didn't really have a baseline. So now we can look at year over year and just kind of track it and make sure that you guys know that we're out there getting our name out there and working with people.
But the things that weren't quantified on there are being out in the community too. Like, we can't quantify how many people pass by a booth at the Water Festival or National Night Out or things like that. So, which we do a lot of engagement that way too.
Do you want to advance my slides for me, or are you able to?
I can do it, yeah.
Nice. All right. So I'm going to jump in on the team accomplishments. Last year was a tip approval year. That's a big thing. So that's every 3 years, and if you know, there's a lot that goes into that. So for us, that's going to keep us really busy. And then on top of it, we planned and hosted the statewide conference, which was a huge success. I know a couple of you made it to that and presented, so thank you. But we got really good feedback from our counterparts and from MDOT and from Federal Highway that it was one of the better conferences they've ever attended. So I feel like we raised that bar. Looking forward to this year's conference, where we don't have to sign people in and get gift bags and everything that goes into running a conference. So on top of that, we were able to get all of our other work done as well. So this is just not a full list of everything we did, but some major accomplishments. With obviously PASER we do every year, our safety action plan, that's kind of a one-time thing, and then our PED safety audits that Eric spent a ton of time making sure that we looked at all of our signalized intersections and got an idea of which ones were part of the high injury network, what things may or may not be at those intersections or what might be missing, and then the overall condition of those intersections. So next up.
And fully staffed and
Yep.
stable and happy.
Yeah, we are fully staffed, even though we lost a member that is just went on a cruise and is apparently doesn't miss us so much. Having fun without us, which I always say don't have fun without us, but she did. And then on the compliance side, this is probably the most important thing is that we're getting this done, because if we don't get these things done, then we're not eligible for the approximately $2 million a year of construction funds that do come to the MAC and our members. So, yes, we're compliant. So, and I have to thank our MDOT team for helping us, because some of those items can be challenging, and we have a really good partnership with MDOT to help us through some of those items. Real quick, I just talked to the exec committee about some of the things that I go to. This is just the general number of meetings that I'll go to in any one month. It's not all of them, but it's certainly a few of them. And then if you go to the next slide, some of the things that I do, I try to get to the state reps, try to get to Senator Gary Peters' staff. I just met with his staff for 3 weeks ago. So every year, definitely want to make sure that they know what we're doing, what's important to us, what I hear from you, what I hear from the community, and where we're trying to go with funding, and we do always need more money. I did talk to the director of MDOT last year, through Paul Sachs on there, just because I was working with him quite a bit last summer, which just keep those relationships going and making sure that we're integrating with where our members are and the planning that's happening in our area. I could have put like Travis from ODC and some other folks on there, but that's just a representation of some of the folks that I'm trying to get with on a regular basis. And then what was next up, I was going to ask if there's any other questions, and certainly on that outreach side, the value reports, I'm going to try to get to all the members, give those updates. But if there's anything that you guys think would be important for me or my staff to attend, let me know, because I definitely want to get out there, and I don't want to miss things. I think some ribbon cuttings, I know that those happen every now and again, and we don't always get invited, but stuff like that, certainly send it our way, because we're moving into that every year. It's just we keep raising the bar, making sure we attend more things, go to more events, and let people know what we're working on. So,
A number of years ago, we did, as a group, a strategic action plan. And I don't know if your office would think something like that would be good to do, but it might be good to revisit it.
Yep.
And see once, what this group thinks where the MAC should go, different ways or different areas in this area.
Yep.
So, might be
Good idea.
something to look into.
Thanks. All right, any other comments? Well, then we can jump in with member updates, maybe the host.
So I would second what Kevin said. I think it's worth looking at that strategic plan and making sure that the mission of the staff and the MAC is what it should be, because there's a lot of different things that could go into metropolitan planning other than roads.
Yep.
And one thing that struck me is I've been looking around for property to buy for a dog park. And suddenly, just a little while ago, last month, Holland City opened a dog park, which is almost in Lake Town Township. And I thought, I'm really glad I did not find property for a dog park, because Nathan built it for me. So I know we all have master plans, and we could all go dig them up and find them, but it'd be great to have a group discussion, master plans, and talk about things like parks. It's not just roads and multi-use paths. There's a lot of other things we do that influence each other. And I'm glad Mandy's here, because I think I'm getting a lot of pressure about TIF funding, and I think it's really interesting to explore that. But I don't want to. I think there should be some level of coordination with other communities, because the developers are going to get habituated to one way or another of how that works. So, and these are big, 200-unit housing developments, and there's a lot of interest from the business community, because you get correspondence from them all saying, please support this so our workers have places to live. So I second what Kevin said. I think that's a great idea. From November 29th is what the Felt Mansion calls the unveiling. There's 144 decorated Christmas trees in the mansion. If you don't want to shell out $150 to go to the Gatsby party on Saturday night, there are tours from next week, this Saturday, all the way through Christmas, that you can take a tour of the mansion and look at all the trees that have been decorated. They're sponsored by local businesses, some families sign up to decorate them. It's really pretty. So I encourage you to get out to Felt Estate. And if my staff comes in before we break, I wanted to introduce Stephanie Fox, the new manager, to everybody. So we'll see if they come in.
This way?
Yeah, we'll go that way.
Go
Hi.
for it, Russ.
Talking about community collaboration, I appreciate working with Lake Town and Park. New sirens, warning sirens for our township. We're in the active process of purchasing, and I don't know of installation date, but hopefully before tornado season next spring starts up, and that's kind of placement, so our overlaps and our border lines happen to keep our citizens safe. Biggest thing in our community change was we had the community center open. September's the grand opening, but weather is so nice outside. It's like, okay, how many people are going to come? Well, after I came back from vacation mid-October and 1st of November, weather changed, and now it's like, how are we going to accommodate everybody that's coming in? So next challenge is, how do we expand hours, or how do we expand facility options?
Good problem
But
to have.
it is. That's what I told staff. I said, this is a great problem to have. How do we do it? But yeah, I'm sure probably every Macc representative here has somebody coming in to the community center, because I've talked to people and they're coming from Grand Haven, Hudsonville, all over. So yeah, it's been a great start, and I'm just trying to look forward to the challenge of how to handle everybody. So that's it.
Good.
No comments.
Al?
Right. Sorry, Al.
I can come up with something.
No, I'd just like, in case you didn't know, this was my last meeting for the MAC, so I appreciated my time here. 14 years on being on the policy board, and I was on the executive board for a while. We've served with 4 directors now, and I had a hand in hiring 3 of them, so I should brag about the first 2 because they only lasted 2 years. We're pretty proud of Jason, so thank you. As far as things going on in Zeeland, our projects are done for the year, so we're looking forward to the Christmas time, the first week of December. I believe it's 4 and 5. We're having the Field of Zeal giving in Zeeland. So got Santa Claus, some carriage rides, and I know Santa personally, and he's got a sexy little wife, so I can say that because it's my wife. So anyway, that's all I've got. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for that.
I don't know how to follow that. A couple things are happening. I just want to say thank you to my friends in the municipal area. I don't need to build an ice rink. I don't need to build a indoor pickleball facility and recreation. And I don't need to build a $60 million pool. I think the interesting thing is the more collaboration we do on some of these things is really important, because if you think about the millions of dollars that have been put into wellness and recreation, it's fascinating. I went and saw, $1 million park on the corner, the Hoagland Park. It's delightful. We can all learn from each other. But boy, if we don't coordinate, we're going to be spending money over each other. And having lived in Chicago for 9 years, a 15-minute commute is delightful. And I just have to be reminded, a 15-minute commute gets us just about anywhere in Holland. And it's just the coordination of all things, like recreation is a simple one just to be smart about. Because, man, we can throw money at, and our residents will travel. Just like Russ said, I know there's 3 or 4 members, friends of mine who are members over at the new rec building, rec facility, and they love it. And we're just, boundaries mean nothing to our residents. And so I would also to say we need to be more collaborative and more open with what we're thinking about. One of the things that we are thinking about, but we actually are thankful that the federal government is back open. The negotiations and the contract conclusion for the Coast Guard building is coming to a conclusion, and so we hope to have that deal done before it gets shut down again in January. Hopefully not, but we're hopefully get that project wrapped up. In spite of all the confusion in Lansing, we were able, through Nancy DeBoer and Roger Victory, were able to get a $600,000 appropriations for the Coast Guard building. So that's a really very that's a great grant for us to get. So we celebrate that. I also want to say thank you. Prior to my time being here, we procured a grant through the Macc for one of the last chunks of a bike path that we have in our township that's open. It got paved 10 days ago, I think it was last. So we just snuck it on under, and Frank and I can now ride our bikes down 152nd between Quincy and Ransom. And so we celebrate that. That's one of the last little legs in our township that was kind of missing. But I think we're at this point now going to be into the total repavement and keep it clean type project. So if you happen to know any good candidates that should be looking for a township manager job, we just released the application or the package for a new manager, and we hope to have that applicants wrapped up by the end of December and doing some interviews in January, February. So our hope is before Mr. Bill Cousins' contract is wrapped up by the 1st of March that we have someone identified to be the new township manager. And if you haven't heard, we did win, I want to say quietly, we won the short-term rental judgment against us, and so we are working through the next step of enforcement of short-term rentals in Park Township. So those are kind of the latest, greatest things going on.
Nothing really new going on in Zealand Township, so I'll be quiet.
Yeah, I say we're just starting our new master plan. Hopefully it'll be quite a job, but I think it'll be good. And we this December, we decided we're going to sponsor an appreciation dinner for the 3 fire departments that cover our township. Mainly Hamilton's been beaten and battered by some controversy, so we decided we want to show appreciation for them. So the township can't just do that, so we're sponsoring it. So a lot of local business are just more than willing to stick money into it, put a dinner on. So we're going to invite all the fire departments that cover. We got Grascup, which we co-own with Lake Town. We invited them, over Isel, and Hamilton. So it sounds like we got like 100-some people coming to it. It's going to be nice. I think
that's good.
All the business we went to is like, yeah, how many tables you want me to sponsor? So they're really more than happy because they really appreciate their fire department. So,
yeah, we all do.
That was just something different that we're.
Really good.
I think it'd be a good thing. Otherwise, I think that's all I have.
Okay, well, Port Sheldon, our coal-fired power plant has been extended another 90 days. I think I'll be telling you that probably every 90 days for the next few. But that's okay. We're ready to continue. If it stays open or if it closes, we're going to be successful. We're heading into our, of course, budget planning season. We have been for quite a while, and I've got about $1 million worth of subdivision streets to pave, and now they don't all happen next year, but we're working on a progress plan over the next couple to work with those neighborhoods because we have a matching 50% matching policy. So, but a lot of those folks don't know that yet, but we're working on education, so that's a good thing. And our Parks and Rec plan is kind of on the final stages, revisiting that 5-year plan, and so hopefully get that approved into this next year, open up some grant funding for some multi-use paths, and we'll of course be looking toward the MAC as well. So but that's about it for now.
Very good.
Lots going on. I think what I'll mention, Stephen mentioned the housing work. We are posting right now. We have an open position for a community development director to provide leadership in the housing space, especially workforce housing space. So if you know anybody who's passionate about that work, that has a little bit of technical ability from working on the financing of projects, send them our way. We'd love to meet them. One of the things we have absolutely talked about is the need for more regular roundtable discussions with our local communities, specifically around best practices related to BRAs, brownfields. Like, how do you prepare a community for what types of projects are we going to approve that we will support? And as that, that tool came into place 2023, communities are just starting to get there. A lot of communities, maybe their brownfield authority was kind of just sitting there for the last 5 to 10 years. They haven't done much with it. They're like, oh, how do we handle this now? Or maybe it's a question of how do we work with the county? And so, yeah, we see a lot of opportunity for those discussions moving forward, and appreciate that constant reminder that we really do want to work together on this and not just have individual policies that don't reflect our greater community. So, good insight.
Yep. We just had an election, and our Headley reset ballot proposal with incredibly complex, opaque language passed by 56% of the votes. So we've set up that for another generation, which is fantastic. You may or may not have heard that we had an ice park that opened about 10 days ago to much fanfare and has been incredibly successful. All in all, that was a $20 million project, including the rebuilding of 6th Street, with only $2 million in city taxpayer funds, thanks in part to a $9 million brownfield reimbursement with a partnership with Lakeshore Advantage. Coming up next week on December 2 is the Parade of Lights, and then followed immediately with Dutch Winterfest. With December 3 and 4, you can do a downtown holiday house tour. You can even visit the mayor's condo downtown. If you buy tickets, you can do that tour. We've got the Kurt Smart downtown. We've got Magic at the Mill at Windmill Island. And again this year, I am the honorary chair of the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign. And while donations nationwide to the Salvation Army Red Kettle campaign were down, in the Holland, Michigan area last year, they were up. And so I'm putting that challenge back out to the greater Holland community. I think that we can beat the nation again and go up when everybody else goes down. So that's all I have this year.
I like it.
Yep.
I think it's really appropriate that in Thanksgiving week we salute Kevin for his dedicated service to the entire community. I've had the pleasure of serving not only on this board with him, but also the West Michigan Regional Airport Board, which he chaired for a number of years. And so Kevin, I really want to say thank you for that commitment just to the region, in addition to the great service that you provided to the city of Zeeland. Two things that I know of that I think are worthy of note in your service is the splash pad, which is certainly a regional destination. If you all ever get down there in the summertime, I don't think it's operating right now, but
Christmas tree.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really incredible to see the kids and parents having a great time in a downtown environment. And of course, the downtown itself has made such great progress during your tenure. So in this Thanksgiving week, I really thank you for that service to our area.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Lots to be proud of as the mayor, so thank you.
Well, we've got pretty much all of our construction wrapped up, at least I hope we do. I was told we do. And, we're working on plans for next year and years beyond that, and we have all of our wings on, hoping we don't have to use them too often. So,
All right.
by the looks of the forecast, not a moment too soon.
Yep.
Same here. Just a couple of shout outs. I love the Zealand, city atmosphere. I've done a few of the 5K Field of Zeal runs there. So thanks for your work, Kevin, Eric, and Alec. I did see your electronic billboard. At least get 3 times a week off the 18th. I don't know if you counted me because I was
Yeah. We counted you.
Yeah, you know, and then over at the Holland, Community Center, I joined a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to learn how to play, pickleball. And I think I was there every day last week. And I'm on my way there after this meeting.
Awesome.
So it's a great looking place.
Great, fantastic. MDOT, anything additional? All right, well, thank you, everybody. We made it in under the hour, which is fantastic. So next meeting is Zealand Charter Township. That's January 26th, so no meeting in December. Thank you, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. And last action item is looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And support. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You talked to Matt Bank before I do. I have all of my bike business